Chapter 8, Despair and Hope. Hey guys, what's going on? I'm the Nufferdog, and welcome back to some more Fire Emblem Path of Radiance, where we resume on a very sad note, after Ike's father, Grail, died at the end of the last chapter. And I decided not to say anything in that earlier cutscene, because I feel like my stupid excuse for voice acting would be too silly to do that justice. So how are you guys doing? I hope you're doing better than these characters, because, you know, I was in a good mood, I was just applying to some colleges and stuff, and then I come down here, and, oh right, the game is really depressing right now. Yeah. Boyd and I are back. How did it go? What were these two doing? What? I'm confused now, I completely forget what this was. Boyd? What were— oh, right, those two. I forgot about this. Yes. Shinon and Gatri left. We heard earlier that they were having doubts about, about being with the company because they felt like the work was kind of beneath their skills. And Shinon kind of looks down on Ike, so they just decided to leave. We will be able to get them back later in the game, but for Gatri, we have to wait a few chapters. For Shinon, we have to wait till more than halfway through the game. How can you say that? After all the battles we've been through together, how can you say that? Forgive me, Ike. I wasn't able to stop any of this. It's not your fault, Titania. They did what they felt they had to do. They didn't want to lose their lives to an inexperienced commander. See, this is why Ike is always the leader in these missions, is Grail was setting him up to, you know, trying to give him training to set him up to be commander after Grail dies or, you know, has to step down for whatever reason. Turns out he just died a lot earlier than expected. And Boyd, we'll call Ike boss, because Boyd is cool. Riss is also cool, even though he's a healer. As is Soren. I believe we have not, seen— yes, tactical knowledge, objectivity. These are euphemisms for Soren is kind of an asshole. But, I think there's a new feature that starts with Soren giving us reports after the battles. I'm guessing this is probably the chapter when this happens. But there's something that I've been anticipating for a long time. Company expenditures, properly outfitted. Yeah, this is stuff that we'll be getting into soon. Oh, okay. Earlier she spoke with the merchant caravan. Good. Merchant caravan, this is important. This is where we finally get the in-between map thing, where we can have a supply convoy to store stuff, we can buy and sell extra weapons and items. And we can also have support conversations between characters and cause them to get bonuses when they fight near each other, which is something I haven't really gotten into yet, because we haven't gotten to build support relationships yet. So here's the base interface. Outfit is where you can manage people's items. For instance, you can give and take things from the convoy. There's a few extra things that went in here for some reason. Oh, I get it. These are the things that Shinon and Gatri had on them. Because when characters leave your group, their stuff gets put in the convoy. They don't take it with them, which is nice. So he'll deposit the steel lance that he can't use. The thief band and archer band, probably just gonna sell those. Titania can't use the iron sword. She'll just deposit that for now, and maybe someone else will take it out. Not sure who I want to give the Ashura icon. Because luck is, I don't know, kind of a weird stat. He'll deposit those spears. We've got a lot of extra lances, which is good because lances are one of the most commonly used. Speaking of lances, he needs more lances. Let's give him that and that. Oh, he can't carry anymore, right. Give him the iron, fire. Also that. Soren will take out the— so you can see the items are organized by types. Here we've got consumables like vulneraries, keys, and also these scrolls that let you get skills. Here we've got bands and other equipable items, healing staffs, light magic, wind magic, thunder magic, fire magic, bows, axes, lances, and swords. Let's see. Asher icon. Increases luck probably by 2 points. She has 12 luck, he's got 10 luck, 6 luck, 8 luck, 5 luck, 7 luck, 6 luck. So, looks like Boyd has the lowest luck. We already kind of gave him the speed wing now, and he becomes pretty overpowered regardless. Mia has higher luck at a lower level, so not necessary for her. Soren actually is he's a lower level and has higher luck. I guess we'll give it to him. Boop. So you can also use items like these stat boosts. Let's see, let's give these things. So this is basically just your sort of inventory management screen. With the ward staff, we might as well give that to him since we don't have any other staffs for him to take. And he'll also give the priest band. Do we have any other bands sitting around? She has a sword band. And a poleaxe. Let's give Boyd, the poleaxe. And Oscar can take the javelin. Mia has Iron Sword, Armor Slayer, Steel. We just have a ton of excess Iron Swords. It's kind of silly. I guess we can each give them a spare one. Why not? And now they're all full up. I'm gonna trade the elixir to Riss. Kind of makes sense, in my view, to have the healing character have the most powerful healing items. Although, kind of makes sense to have the paladin have that, actually. And we'll just give it to him. Why not? And Oscar has 2 vulneraries for no reason. There's also a shop. Armory is where you can buy weapons from this creepy-looking dude. So we can give him Thunder Magic if we want, or a replacement Wind spell. We can buy more axes, lances, swords. Shop is where you can buy vulneraries, heal staffs, pure water sometimes, just reduces magic damage. And there are other things she'll sell later on, like better heal staffs, or sometimes rare spells and that type of thing. You can sell extra stuff. And I think the coolest thing is the Forge. Who do I want to use this on? I think I'm going to give Soren a fancier version of the Wind spell. So the Forge, you can make custom weapons. So you can make swords. You can only base them off of weapons that you've used before. So we have Iron, Slim, and Steel, because we haven't seen more advanced swords like Silver. So lances, we have Iron, Slim, and Throw, because we haven't used Steel lances enough, I guess. And we haven't seen Silver. Same with axes, we haven't seen Silver yet. And bows, we've only seen Iron so far, so we can't make a Steel bow or whatever. Tomes... Oh, what? Fire... Huh. That's weird. You'd think I would have the Wind option open yet, because Soren kind of specializes in Wind, so I'd like to give him a custom Wind spell. This is actually what I did in my practice run as well. Maybe I won't do that then. See, the thing is, you can only use the Forge to make 1 item per visit to the base, so I kind of want to use it every time. So manage. We could give someone the Miracle skill that we had earlier. I think it might be handy on someone like Riss, who we don't want to die, and he sometimes gets in dangerous situations. Or we could give someone who doesn't have it at the moment. Some of these characters, though, I want to give them these skills later on in the game that take a lot of their capacity there, so I don't really want to use it up with less useful things. So, but Riss isn't likely to get one of those advanced skills, so I'm just gonna give him Miracle to help protect him. Award EXP, this is handy. After battles you get bonus EXP that you can use to level up characters. So this is best spent leveling up characters who are difficult to level up. Mages and priests tend to be harder to level up. Just use 3 EXP to get Riss to level 7, because why not? I used to think that using bonus EXP would cause their level ups to not be as good, but actually their stat increases are the same regardless. So, no one's particularly underleveled right now, so I'll just save it up for now. Support, we can have a support conversation between Ike and Oscar, and that'll cause them to get better stat boosts, in battle. Sometimes these support conversations are pretty funny, but they just let you learn a bit more about the characters and whatnot. And apparently Oscar cooks. Subtle spices and flavors. Soren does indeed hate everything. Good to know, Oscar. And apparently... Wait, what? I thought Mist cooked most of the food. That's actually kind of weird. I thought Mist cooked most of the food, so why is her cooking so terrible? Anyway, that's not really important. You can talk to the different merchant guys, and it tells you about what the different ones do. So Mustin is the arms dealer. And Amy just sells the potions and heal staffs and things. And then there's the brothers here, George, or maybe it's Jorge, I'm not really sure. He'll sell stuff, and Daniel does the forge, custom weapon stuff. And they can also store stuff, so just a rundown of everything they do. So there's star ratings next to these conversations you can have with characters. 1 star is just something that's not particularly important. 2 star gives you important information that could be helpful for like the next mission and whatnot. And if it has 3 stars, that means you get a special item or a new character. Yes, you sometimes can get new characters from having these conversations. Well, that was depressing. Again. Here's Rolf. Rolf's pretty cool. He doesn't do anything now, he actually becomes useful later on. You might not expect it, but... And he's an eternal optimist. Alright, so I generally just listen to all these conversations, don't really have anything particular to say about all these. This is kind of significant. Well, Boyd is also a pretty optimistic guy, but, you know, he can be more serious than you might think. Alright, Oscar was a knight, or something. These guys owe a lot to Grail. But, yes, they are all one big happy family. And... oh, never mind. I was about to say something, and then yeah. Here's Riss being a religious man, because he's a priest, so what do you expect? The dead, the more tears we shed, the more blessings the dead receive in the afterlife? That's an interesting idea, I guess. Another tender moment there. Everything is depressing after someone dies. So depressing. You know what? I feel like we should sell these extra iron swords, because look, that one has like 25 condition, there's no point to that. So you can sell that, because, you know, I don't want to keep them stuck using iron swords for a long time. So, like, this old iron lance that has hardly any condition, we'll just make some extra money off of it. Because lances tend to be the weapon you have the most of, as you've probably seen already. So these bands, they're each worth 2,000, and I'm not using them at all, so I'm just gonna get rid of every single one of them, and now, all of a sudden, we are rich. I don't know where this supply convoy, these merchant guys, are getting all the money to pay for those, but that's pretty awesome, and apparently we have a lot of vulneraries in storage. That'll be handy, because I like every character to have at least one vulnerary, so when we get more characters, I can give it to them. So, Ike doesn't need a custom weapon, because he's got the Regal Sword, and the Regal Sword is amazing. I mean, compare it to the Steel Sword, its might is actually slightly lower, but it's way more accurate, has a high crit rate, and it's light and easy to use, and gets the bonus effect on mounted knights and armored guys. Titania, probably not going to use her that much. What the heck, let's give Oscar a custom weapon, so I can show off the forge. So let's get him a fancy lance. So we can't yet make a fancy steel lance, sadly, but we can make a fancy iron lance. So we can improve the attack. You can improve each stat up to 5 clicks in either direction. You can also lower the attack for some reason, don't know why you'd want to. But you can see the cost rises as you do this. We have a lot of money, so I'm not too concerned about that. And usually in this game I find that you tend to have excess money more than you are likely to be lacking in it. So we could turn the attack up to like 10. We can increase the accuracy. Don't really need it at 105, but maybe 95. and give it a higher crit rate if we want. Now the weight, you can make a character potentially be able to swing it faster and double hit more guys by lowering the weight, but raising it will make it more useful as a training item. I'll just leave it in the middle for now, because it actually costs money to raise or lower it. It's not that expensive. It costs more money to lower it than raise it, but it does cost something, so, why not? Get a little expensive if we raised anything else. Let's just go with that. And you can also change the name and do a little bit of changing the color. So, let's think of a name here. There we go. Oscar is going to skewer his enemies like kebabs. Delicious. And I guess we could try to make it a more wooden color, but there's not really a brown option, and it's already made of wood, so... yeah, I kind of like the light color. I don't know why. So yes, now Oscar has a fancy skewer. So I think we're done managing stuff. We've spent way too long on this stuff that happens before the battle even starts. So, I'm sorry that this episode is going on so long with just, really not much happening, just going over how the base works and all that. This game does tend to have a lot of talking conversations, as you've probably noticed, because it's a pretty well-written game with a lot of story-driven type stuff. So, we are surrounded by Dayan troops in this old ruined-ish castle that we've set up in. That's a squad of Dayan soldiers. Why do they have to show up now? What gives? We're inside Gallia's borders, aren't we? They must be out of their minds to pursue us this far. If they've come this far, I'm sure getting out of here alive was never one of their priorities. We're in trouble. They have us completely surrounded. We cannot escape. So many of them, and so few of us. It doesn't look good, does it? Doesn't matter. We have to fight. Grail mercenaries, ready yourselves. Yes, sir. I'll begin formulating a strategy immediately. He won't tell us what his strategy is, but... Alright, those two are hiding in the base. And the medallion is glowing again. Seems like that has some significance to it. We don't know what it is yet. So this is another... oh. Didn't realize there was more text there. This is another defensive-y sort of mission, because like the one earlier where we're defending the Grail Mercenaries base, we're sitting in the middle in this central courtyard, and we have 3 entrances that we have to guard. This mission can be rather difficult. These guys are mostly just sort of your standard enemy soldiers. There's a good mix of guys. There's soldiers, there's myrmidons, there's fighters, there's archers, there's knights. They also have a couple priests, but the most important thing here is this girl right here, Ilyana. She is a mage specializing in thunder. She has a powerful elf undertone, and she is recruitable. Oh, she also has an interesting skill called Shade that makes enemies less likely to attack her. She is recruitable. We'll see what her deal is later on, but you want to talk with her with Ike, and she'll come down this side after a couple turns, so you gotta get Ike out there to talk to her. So there's a bunch of these guys here. I'm probably going to be using Titania more than I really should, just because, you know, we've only got so many units, and we gotta be able to defend all these areas. I gave Boyd the poleaxe, I believe. That could be very handy, because we've got all these guys to worry about. This guy's a red gem, which will drop. That's something we can sell. This guy's a soldier band. That's useless, but we can sell it, if we bother to kill him. So, clear is 8 turns defense. This guy's a longbow, which can hit up to 3 spaces instead of just 2 like a normal bow. So that's pretty dangerous, but we'll get it if we kill him. Not that we have anyone who can use it right now. We don't have any choice in what units. I mean, we can take out units if we want, like if we don't want Titania to soak up EXP. But honestly, in a mission like this, we kind of need everyone to be able to do stuff. I don't know. The repositioning is kind of pointless since we're just in this little area. Let's save and start the match. Come on, we gotta have some battle in this episode. It's gone on for 20 minutes. I don't know what's in this water. It tastes like chemicals, plastic, and the tears of children. Alright, so this soldier can get down that far. I think I'm just gonna park Oscar here to defend this area. Boyd is good for defending this area because he's got his poleaxe and there's all these guys coming up. Ike also works well down there. That could be handy for the lance guys, although they have javelins, so you have to kind of be aggressive about attacking them or they'll just attack you at range. So I'll just have Ike sit there. Mia will be ready to back up Oscar in here. She's got an armor slayer in case that knight comes down. And Titania is actually going to go out and defend this area. And I guess I could put Soren... what's the range of this longbow guy? He can hit. I'm just going to put him here, because I don't know what kind of useful counterattacking he could do. You just kind of take the first turn to get everyone in position. Okay, he's throwing the javelin at Ike. Oh, right. I said something where I reversed the weapons triangle earlier, talking about Boyd being less useful for killing the javelin guys. Well, that's not right. Boyd is less useful for killing the guys with swords. The javelin guys are the ones that would be most easy to kill with him. And that guy's just forced to kind of sit there because he had to go too far in to attack Ike. So that's handy, because that means no one else can attack either of those two. And this guy has a javelin. I probably should have given Titania a hand axe so she can counter attacks from these guys. I mean, she has one, but I should have equipped it. Because the weapon you equip on your turn affects what you use for counterattacks. Okay, this guy's screwed, because suicide rushes. Yay! Suicide's not a good thing. At all. Okay. I said that really weirdly. Is that like a sudden bad British accent? These things do happen to me, don't they? So the longbow guy can be pretty annoying because he can shoot further than usual into your base and no one can counter his attacks. Because if he gets his way, he's just going to be attacking from 3 spaces away all the time. And we don't have anyone with a longbow, so we don't have anyone who can counter him. So you need to get someone in there and get up close and kill him. Because he can't counterattack with him. Or counterattack him. Oh, we got a new thingy on support. Right, because if Ike and Oscar, they had a conversation, so they can, thingy thing. So there's a lot of enemies in here to worry about, so I kind of don't want to put anyone out there in a vulnerable situation. I could do something like, yeah, let's attack with the skewer. Kind of a strategy you do with the custom weapons, I've noticed, is you tend to just, like, make some improved versions of really basic weapons early in the game, and then, she's not really doing anything back there, but whatever, and then those last you until the later stages of the game, at which point, you're starting to get really awesome weapons in general, like silver stuff, and then for the end of the game, and like the last couple missions, you make custom versions of those awesome weapons, like silver weapons and whatnot. And let's have Riss heal Ike, because then I'm gonna get him out there to kill those cavalry with his regal sword. But yeah, I really like the Forge feature. I'm pretty sure that was only in this game in Radiant Dawn. It wasn't in the GBA ones. I don't know if it'll be in Awakening or not, but that would be a feature that I would like to see return. What's So I don't think any of these other cavalry are really going to have much luck surviving the next turn. Because Ike with the regal sword is pretty overpowered against cavalry. And none of these guys have javelins. They're all swords and axes that can only attack up close. This boss is just sitting down there by his lonesome. I think Soren actually could be more useful over here since Titania can hold her own so well. I mean, if you leave her here for a long time, she will eventually get in danger. We could use the hand axe. We could use it to finish off that guy, because he'll probably go back and try to heal, or we could attack one of these guys. Let's just sit here and finish this guy so he won't heal. And then she'll be able to counterattack attacks from javelins or regular bows, not the longbow guy, but, you know, what are you gonna do? And again, I look at the screen on my computer and I realize how wide everything is on this new flat screen TV. Don't get me wrong, I love this TV, but it's kind of weird how stretched out the characters and stuff are, and you don't realize it until I look at it on a square resolution on the computer. I mean, this TV is great. because I can finally read the text in Skyrim. That is honestly the biggest benefit of this. Not even kidding. I don't know. At first I was kind of shocked by how bad GameCube and Wii games looked on this, but now I've gotten used to it, and they actually don't look bad. I mean, just they're a little pixely because the picture is so blown up, but they still look better than the old TV, actually, now that I've gotten used to it. Because the old one just wasn't that great. It was only 24 inches. I mean, only 24 inches. That's a decent size, but by the standards of TVs now and how huge everything has gotten, that's pretty tiny. This is a 32-inch. Best Christmas present. And unnecessary criticals all day, every day. Mike just likes getting criticals. It's just what he does, you know? He's just a critical loving guy. Critical loving. That sounds interesting. Alright. I believe reinforcements will show up here every couple turns, so there might be more cavalry that come in eventually, and hey, a not unnecessary critical. I probably would have killed the guy without it, but it saves us one little bit of condition on the Regal Sword, so there is a benefit. What am I saying? There's always a benefit to criticals. Even if they're unnecessary, they look flashier. Derp. Let's see. Well, looks like this guy actually isn't gonna get killed, because the hand axe isn't that powerful. Probably Titania actually, I'm just now thinking of this, Titania probably isn't as overpowered as I remember her being, specifically because I've gotten better about not overusing her and giving the EXP to other guys who aren't pre-promotes. This means Titania doesn't gain levels much, so it figures that she would actually be weaker than she was, you know, in my childhood. Okay, longbow guy attacking again, hopefully he will miss, or at the very least, she won't take much damage. No damage. See, longbows are annoying because of their high range, but they're not really that good stats-wise. That range is what sets them apart, but they're not actually very powerful. So, they're not that dangerous, necessarily. Hopefully Mia can dodge this. Come on, come on! Okay, well, she only took 3 damage anyway, so no great loss. But I should have put Soren behind there, but I wasn't really sure what I was going to do with him. But I should have put him behind there so he can counter ranged attacks. So there's a lot of enemies piling in here. These guys are going to need some healing. Or, not some healing, but they might need help, I guess. But the problem is, this whole bottleneck issue. Okay, what I think I'm going to do, I'm going to put Oscar here. I'm going to have him kill the guy. Ooh, nice. A critical that still was unnecessary, because it would have been able to kill the guy with 2 normal hits, but hey, it's always nice to kill him with only 1. It saves you condition, as I said. This water still tastes like it was spiked with something. I don't know if there's something in this cup, or something wrong with the Brita filter, or what. Oscar should actually get some healing. I don't want to put him out here because I don't want too many enemies attacking him at once. I'm going to leave him in here. Risk can't get to him. Okay. I'm going to move Mia. Oh, I should have moved... whatever. Because I was going to park Soren here so he can counter ranged attacks. Oh well. Heal Oscar to ensure that he has as much HP as possible, because he's gonna be taking a lot of attacks from these guys. Not to mention this guy could... Ooh, shit, he has a... Fuck. Well, there's a major strategic oversight from yours truly. Can I move anyone else in here? Maybe it'd be better if I just put Boyd in there. He has a lot of HP. But there's all these sword guys. I don't want Ilyana attacking anyone either, but I don't think she's very aggressive, so... I don't know. Okay, twist my arm. You can kill that guy instantly. Can't double hit the sword guy, sadly. Let's kill this guy. Because at least that's, you know, one less enemy. Just clear someone out. Hey! Unnecessary critical. Well, not fully unnecessary. I mean, it saved him from that chance of taking 9 damage, so actually that's fairly nice. Even though it's not necessary, per se. Probably would have been able to kill him anyway, but if it saves him damage... Now, seeing as there's no cavalry down here at the moment, and this boss isn't gonna move, probably, unless we maybe get really close to being in his range, or, get in his range, get really close to him, I'm gonna have Ike down here kill this guy. For the lulz. Okay, not actually for the lulz. These guys are probably both gonna attack Titania, so I might as well just kill the guy who is at full HP, or weaken the guy who's at full HP. Because then she'll be able to get actually finishing blows on as many people as possible. So as usual, it is the Western Front here that is the most worrisome. That sounds really pretty serious, actually. So they do have that priest, so they might be healing one of those guys, but hopefully they'll just be stupid and attack first. Come on, yeah! I don't know. Maybe I'm getting used to the taste of this water, which is probably a bad thing. Probably means I'm getting used to all sorts of horrible carcinogens. Okay, I'm exaggerating, but I don't know why it tastes like shit, so it is kind of disturbing. Speaking of which, I'm hungry. Why is that a speaking of which? The implications of that are also kind of distressing. I don't even know why I'm going on about this. I feel like I had something to talk about. So this is me reverting to my native tongue again. Why can't I talk today? Why can't I talk every day? Why can't I talk whenever I do an LP? Me neither. And with that random stupidity, Titania kills more guys, courtesy of the Nuffer Dog. This is basically just the extent of the first part of this game. Titania kills guys. She's pretty ruthless, really. It's actually kind of funny. Every single enemy is male, and then we've got our one overpowered character is Titania. So maybe only Crimea is an equal opportunity employer? Maybe Dan is just sexist? But Crimea is not, except in the ways that they probably really are? I think I'm thinking too much about this. I'm reading too much into this. Okay, Mage. Mage will probably die in one hit from the axe, but the fire could be dangerous. Only 3 damage. Never mind then. Paladins have decent resistance, and well, you know, it actually took 2 hits. Not as frail as I thought. And I believe Titania's about to level up, so that's handy. Really want to be uploading like hour-long videos to YouTube, so I feel like I probably should be ending off these episodes sooner. I think I'm gonna find a stopping point and call this an episode, and then finish this chapter in the next one. What are these guys? They're just all packing in here. Okay, we've got this guy. I don't know. Is he gonna survive? He's probably gonna survive. Boyd's not using the hammer. On the other hand, the steel axe is probably faster. Okay, 3 HP. That works. I don't know what that healer thinks he's doing. We're gonna kill him, and then we're gonna end this off. Also notice the background changes depending on what part of the map you're in. It's the little things. Okay, I don't know. This has run on too long, so I'm gonna end this episode off here on sort of a mid-chapter cliffhanger, I guess. We are on turn 4, so it is the middle of it. I'm the Nuffer Dog, and I will see you guys next time with more Fire Emblem Path of Radiance.